Good morning. Amber and John, yeah, you are first. Yes, you are. How are you doing, Amber? Marie, how are you doing? I was just watching your neighbor across the street. I was watching her last video. Dehydrating. Um, it was interesting. It's not accurate, but it was interesting. Good morning, Charles. Thank you. I need coffee. I haven't slept all night. So, um, it was a rough night. It's probably going to be a rough couple of days. So I was putting in a ceiling fan last night. The one that fell in the bedroom, I was putting it back up, and it takes a remote control unit inside the electrical, and I was putting that up in there. Good morning, B&J. And it's not enough wiring. They don't give you enough wiring on the remote, because what you got to do is you got to hook it up, and then you got to slide it in there. Well, when you hook it up, there's not enough wire there to make the turn to get it to go in. So I couldn't get the remote to go in. So I had to pull the fan back off, and I was trying to pull the fan out. And you got to pick it up and lift it and shut it out of there. And when I did, when I come out of there, finally, it knocked me off the ladder, and I fell on the ground or on the floor. And I hit pretty hard. I don't think I broke anything, but my hip is sure killing me. Okay, Amber. What's your sister's name, Amber? Jessica Allen. Okay. I got it wrote down in the prayer book. Yeah, I'm just sore from falling and landing. I'm glad the bed was there, because that broke my fall before I hit the floor. So, but it sure scared me, because I figured sure as hell I broke my hip. And like an idiot, I'm going to get back up there today to get it done. So, I bet that hurt. Drum Nut, how are you doing today? Glad to see you here. Glad to see you all here. So, well, thank you, Marie. I appreciate it. You okay, Amber? Yeah. Oh, I plan on being careful. I wouldn't have had that problem if, these companies are so damn cheap that instead of giving you an extra 2 inches of wire that they know you need, they try to shut it off as close as they can. Well, you're welcome, lovely kid. I just got done watching Lovely Kid in Japan's St. Patty Day video. She's having a good time. Her and Leo, they're dancing around. So there's a nice video. I liked it. Instead of, giving you an extra 2 inches of wire so you could actually do it without having to struggle, they cut it off just the bare minimum that you need. You can do it if you've got ample enough room and nimble enough fingers and stuff to get it done. But I'm gonna add 4 inches of wire to it, and then that way I can do it. I can easily do it. So yeah, you're right. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen the remote control ceiling fans, but I'll never buy anything else but a remote control ceiling fan now, because you don't have to reach up and pull the chain or nothing, or turn the light on. You can turn the lights on, you can dim the lights, you can make them bright, the speed control, everything on the fan. It's much, much easier. It costs a little more, but it's nicer. Blind Monkey, how are you doing? So, Tim's World, how are you doing this morning? Yeah, Tina, I've missed you too. I mean, I've been watching some of your videos, but I've missed you. I try to get to Picker Rick's, and I haven't seen you there. I try to get to Doing It Cheaps, and I haven't seen you there. So I know we're just like two ships in the night. We're missing one another. So yeah, I'm telling you, B&J, once you get one, they're a pain in the ass to put in there, to set up, because they don't give you enough. It's a tight fit, but once you get it, it's nice. That's right. My coffee just mooned you. We got the remote control right there by the on the stand at the bed. So you just hit the, have to get out to shut the light off or anything like that. You just hit the switch and the light comes on, the light goes off. You can turn the ceiling fan on, lower, higher. So I missed a pajama party. I could have came on there in my pajamas. I don't wear any, but I could have come in on mine. Blind Monkey, how are you doing this morning? It is 5:40 a.m. Eastern. Hazelnut, how are you doing? There you go. I'll show you some ass. Your fan has a remote. Her name's Tammy. Yeah. That's good, Hazelnut. That's good. The reason why I had to, I don't know. Yeah. The reason why I had to put the ceiling fan back up is the receptacle box, the plastic receptacle box. First one I ever seen do this. Shattered. My wife went in there, was doing something. All of a sudden, she heard a loud crack, and she looked up, and the ceiling fan was dangling from the ceiling. Well, thank you. If you like that one, you had to see mine when I stand up. Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh. Was it? I missed it. I'm gonna have to go check that one out. Lovely, you was in Coping Alone. Okay, I have to check that out. No way, not good dog. All right. Well, better be careful dancing with that bad knee and that bad ankle. Oh, sure. Now you don't want to be a player. Okay, Charles. Do I have any pets? No, I used to. We used to have a cat. I got a video of him. Bear, the meanest cat alive. I loved the cat. I loved him dearly. but he didn't love me. And he wouldn't leave Mama's Christmas trees alone. And my brother, ever since the day I got him, said, you know, if you want to get rid of that cat, you let me know. I'll take him because I just think he's cool as hell. So my brother has him. And my brother's got a video of him. And the cat absolutely loves my brother. He don't love me, but he loves my brother. And my brother's my twin brother. I don't understand what the difference is. So. But I do have videos. You gotta go way back. It's Bear, the meanest cat alive. So the phone won't charge. You know what? They make these phones so expensive, and then they make them so cheap. They are so expensive to buy, but they're so cheap. Hell, the chargers half the time don't work in them because they wire out the charging port and they don't work. Yeah, bye, kitty. You know what it was is, you gotta understand Mrs. Iron Dog and her Christmas trees. You don't touch her Christmas trees once she has them up. That's a big no-no. You don't touch the ornaments. You don't do none of that stuff. And this cat just could not get it through his head. You do not touch the ornaments. So, and my brother found that out when he took it because the cat actually tore. I think the cat tore the tree down once. So now we had another cat a few years ago, and he was a white cat, and he would climb up in my white Christmas tree, and you would not see him there until he opened his eyes. He could lay right inside that tree, and you'd never see him until he opened his eyes. And that was funny. You'd ask where the cat's at, couldn't find him. Then all of a sudden he'd open his eyes, you know, and there he'd be. Well, yeah, you can sneak a candy cane, just don't touch the ornaments. You're still pulling myself up. Need to stretch. Yeah, I tell you what, I'd stretch a mile if I didn't have to walk back. So. One of these days I'll have to pull up some pictures and show you pictures of the other cat we had. We had a dog, a Shar-Pei for like 13 years, and I had to put her down because she had some kind of degenerative bone disease, and she went from walking to not walking in like one day, you know, and then she was screaming in pain. I took her to the vets, and I said there's nothing I could do for her. So. Well, it's only 5:46 in the morning there. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool, Mary. You're right. I went out there and I found, I don't know, every day I'd find glass ornaments laying on the ground out there in the back room on the floor. And he broke like 4 or 5 of them. And these were ones from Frankenmuth, which are like $12 a piece. And I didn't pay that. I bought them at an auction. They were still in the boxes. But they're from Frankenmuth, which is up in middle of Michigan. It's a Christmas Bonner's Frankenmuth. They do nothing but Christmas stuff there, so it's expensive stuff. Well, welcome back, B&J. So how was everybody else's night? I went to get old Mucker was having a live stream last night, and I come out here after I fell, and I sat down at the table, no more than got it on, and his live stream on. I wrote Iron Dog in the house, and man, I just started hurting, so I just shut it down and walked back in the bedroom. Shouldn't say I walked. I gimped myself all the way back to the bedroom because I couldn't walk, and got in my chair and sat down. Oh, I didn't get any snow. That's all on the eastern side. So. Jen's Universe, how are you doing today? Nice to see you here. Nice to see everybody here. Anything you guys particularly want to talk about other than sex and the Second Amendment, or the sexy Second Amendment? And I took the Grab-A-Dog hat off, and I got me a different hat on today instead of Grab-A-Dog. Well, join the crowd. Congratulations, Jen. Join the crowd. I don't think anybody sleeps in this room. Let me check out your channel. I think I'm subscribed to you. I believe I am. So, though I had a couple yesterday come in and I weren't, but yes, I am. You got 393. It's good. Oh. So. How about plain old sex? Well, you can talk about spring stuff. What do you want to know? I got to get my. I got 3 small greenhouses. 3 of them. 3 of them. Sorry about that. 3 of them. Sorry about that. My rheumatoid arthritis won't let me bend fingers or whatever. Well, I'm glad you're ready for the day there. David in the desert, how are you doing? Glad to see you here. We ain't got no snow, unless it snowed last night. I haven't seen any snow. It hasn't snowed here in about a week. So we haven't had no snow in a week. It's bare ground out here. So hopefully, I haven't looked outside. So I haven't been keeping up with the weather either, but I can tell you right now. It's 25 degrees. It's supposed to be clear with a high of 44 and a real feel of 23 right now. And there is no snow in the forecast for the next 4 days. So good. I got a gig. I got another one in April for the hot dog cart. It's a spring fling. It's where they have they're going to have an art show and stuff, and they're looking for vendors. So, are you getting ready to go to bed, David, or are you up for the night or day? And you know what, B&J, it could be a lot worse. I'm telling you, it could just be absolutely a lot worse for that snow for the last 3 days. It really could, because it could be happening to me, and that would be tremendously worse, you know? So. Yeah, you guys ain't had no snow either all week, so yeah. But anyways, it's called the spring fling. It's only going to be for 5 or 6 hours or something like that, and I don't know how good it's going to be, but the more places we go, the more people see us, and the more our name gets out. So, yeah. I'm glad you agree with me, B&J. Most people would flip me off and tell me to go to hell after saying that, but you know, um, I was on Facebook and it popped up. You know, there was a spring fling, and um, they said they were going to have food and all this other. So I contacted them, said, "What kind of vendors do you need?" And um, they called me back because I got a voicemail, and I called me back, and I didn't answer the phone. I was actually out of. I had the phone in the bedroom, and I was out here at the time, and so I got the message when I went back in. So I have to call them today, but uh, I think it'll work out nice. Yeah. Yeah, we our cart is outside. You know, when we do an event, it's outside, or it's in a big building um, per se. Uh, 60 more views until you get 20,000. Well, that's nice. So, but we uh, we have a 10 by 20 enclosed tent. You know, it's like a party tent. I got a 10 by 20 party tent. I got walls for it and windows. It's got walls and windows. And then I got a 10 by 10 easy pop up tent. And, you know, then the cart itself has a 9-foot umbrella. So if it's nice and sunny out, you put, you know, the umbrellas on and you don't feel the heat anyway. You know, it blocks the sun while you're standing there. So, but I can't put this thing in a building. So, um, unless it's a big enough area. If it's a big enough area, like a high school gymnasium or something like that, then I can. Um, because it uses propane, but it uses less than a cook stove, you know, than cooking your dinner or whatever. But people frown on it, you know, without the central air, you know, without ventilation. So. You're right. Your world doesn't revolve around clocks. Yeah, me either. I can't wait for warm weather. Getting back to the greenhouses, I got 3 stand-up greenhouses, and I got to start getting some stuff around. I want to start right around the 15th of April. I'm going to start planting some stuff. Pretty much the frost and stuff will be out, and I can leave this, put them in my greenhouses, and pretty much be okay with it. No, the cold really doesn't bother me that much. Um, it's just the moisture and stuff that screws with my arthritis. Marie, I was a garbage man for years, so I'm used to the cold. Man, I was out in the cold when it was 35, 40 below zero on the back of a truck, which would make it 70, 80, 100 degrees, you know, below zero. Depends on how fast you were going. And, you know, they're out there with a hockey mask on and, you know, full face gear and, you know, all the winter protection, but it's still cold, you know. And people don't care how cold it is. You don't pick up their trash and see, they'll be the first one to call. But yet they froze their little hiney up walking that out to the curb, but they don't care, you know, that you're out there for 12, 15, 18 hours out there in the cold and doing it. Well, that's good, dear Amber. I'm going to start my spring cleaning too. I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to throw away. I got a bunch of home canned goods. Uh, I got bring up, and I'm gonna empty them out into my compost pile. Um, some of the stuff I canned 5, 6 years ago, and we haven't used any of it or touched it, and you know it's starting to look discolored. You know what I mean? So it's not appetizing. It doesn't look appetizing like it did when I first made it. So I'm gonna get rid of it. A lot of stuff didn't cost me anything. It was stuff I grew out of my garden anyway. So I'm just gonna dump it in my compost, and then when my garden has more stuff, I'll do some more of it. I know the feeling there, David. I've got enough stuff probably to keep 20 people. Um, if SH SHTF, if SHTF, I got sleeping bags, I got tents, I got cookware, plateware, I got all that stuff. You know, blankets, pillows. Yeah, you prefer 150. Yeah, but there's a difference between 115 and dry and 60-degree humid. Yeah. How much does it cost for you? Do you guys go in the landfill or you dump it at someplace on pavement, Amber? Because I'll tell you what it's when I was doing garbage, it was like $30 every 3 months for garbage service. And somebody said, "Well, that's expensive. I'll just take it to the landfill." I said, "Okay, go ahead." It's $20 to take it to the landfill, which isn't bad. But if you go into the landfill and pop a tire, now that just went from 20 to 120. You figure it out. So you go to your transfer station. Okay. Is it free because you're a resident? Yeah, you're right, David. Dry is way hot. Dry, but dry heat is hotter. But when you put the humidity in with it, that's where it makes it miserable. You know, come here to Michigan, and if you had 115 degrees with 92% humidity or 88% humidity, like we get all the time, you'd be dying because it just the sweat would just roll out of you off your body. And that's we're surrounded by the lakes, and that's the thing. We just get all sorts of humidity here. Well, that's good, lovely kid. Um, I got a lot of stuff I want to throw away. Um, I got a closet upstairs in the hallway that's just packed full of stuff. We moved here 6 years ago. We ain't seen none of it since we put it in there. So if we haven't seen it, we don't need it. We haven't missed it. If it's something sentimental, fine. But if it's just the stuff that we brought, throw it out. Was it humid in Houston? I don't know. I've never been there. Yeah, I'm ready for spring cleaning. You see right there, you see the ladder right there? That's the ladder I was standing on when I fell off it yesterday. David hasn't lived in Houston for years, I don't think, because he lives in the desert, don't you, David? In Nevada, right? Huh. What about the fake news there, Charles? Isn't that something was going on in Austin, Texas? Damn. Yeah, I fell off the ladder. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I've never been to Houston, so I don't know. Yeah, they have a serial bomber there. They got a hold of the Unabomber. The feds did, and they wanted him to do a profile on this person. So, huh. Don't stick their tongue to the stuff. That's funny. You're a serial photo bomber. I like to make an appearance. Yeah. Well, I gotta go get me another cup of coffee. 95 with 90% humidity. I That's pretty hot and humid. So have you been making wine, David? I haven't made any lately. I just with this arthritis and stuff. I just haven't uh, felt like it. I guess. Yeah, I remember last year was 123 degrees or something like that. Yeah, like you said. Yeah, I remember it was hotter than hell one day. Okay, B and J, have a good one, man. Take a good night's sleep or whatever. Get a good rest. Okay. Yeah, I gotta get that hiney full. I'll be right back. Here comes the pain. That's okay, Tina. I don't like to do much. I don't like to go out much. Junkyard, how are you doing this morning? You about to start 8 5-gallon jugs? I will, B&J. I will. Yeah, somebody said, starting it in the 2 quarts. That's nice. I did that for a while. But you find out you get tired of just making 1 bottle of wine or a half, bottle and a half of wine all the time. Oh, yeah. I think David just sits around and looks pretty all day there, Tina. Hell, everybody knows you can do that. Yeah, right, David. Sit around and look pretty all day. Hell, I can do that. You would think for uninterrupted service, they would be able to make it better, huh, Junkyard? You would think so. But you notice they're not willing to give you anything off your bill every time you get knocked off the internet and you have to go back. So, I don't blame you, David. If I had 10 acres, I probably would never go to town either. I'd raise chickens and pigs and cows and all that other stuff. I'd never have no reason to go to town, other than to buy sugar or something like that, or milk once in a while. But yeah, it is an amazing life. Uh, I would love to be, if I was healthy enough now, or healthy enough. I'd love to have at least 10 acres. You can live on 10 acres, and you can probably live on less if you're out someplace where you got better weather than Michigan. But on 10 acres in Michigan, you can live a pretty good life without having to without having to rely on anything. Huh. Yeah, but you got yourself a little slice of heaven there, Amber. You're off the grid. You don't have no utility bills. What more could you ask for? I plan on. I want to put some solar panels up on my garage, and hopefully, yeah, it's loony in LA now. Hopefully, I can run, you know, half of my garage or my garage on the solar panels. That'll save me 50 to $100 a month, and when I start getting enough solar panels up there, I can start incorporating it in with some of the stuff in the house. Well, sometimes neighbors can be a blessing there, Amber. Not mine, but maybe yours are. Hmm. You can't smoke, you're not giving them your money. I tell you what, there's a lot of places you can't smoke, but there is some places you still can. Your neighbors are a blessing. That's good there, lovely kid, Tina. My neighbors aren't so much. Um, the guy across the street from me, um, for a better word, a better lack of a term of the word, slum. They got garbage laying all over. Wherever they drop something, that's where it stays. Uh, got a half a dozen cars parked in the yard that don't run. He works on them. You know, I don't mind if he's got one or two there and he's working on them. He gets them out and sells them, but no, he'll bring in a bunch of them and work on them. And there was a motorhome set out in the street for 2 months before the city come over and give it a ticket for parking there. It hadn't moved in 2 months. We have a city ordinance that anything after 3 o'clock in the morning can be ticketed. So how can the cops drive by this thing every day for 2 months and not give it a ticket? So, and that's not the only thing. Hell, he'll take cars and set them out there in the street, on the curb. They won't have license plates on them. They won't even have engines in them. And he parks them out there on the street. Now, I don't know about you, but if I did that, there'd be a wrecker here towing my stuff away. So, I only have one neighbor, and she's truly that you truly love, and she's like family to you. Well, that's good. Um, I come in last before I came in, old mucker. I was putting a ceiling fan up last night, and I couldn't get the fan motor to go or the remote control to go in right. So I had to pull the fan motor out, and when I pulled the fan motor back off in the bracket, I slipped off the ladder and fell on the ground on the floor. Luckily, I threw the fan motor away from me, so it landed on the bed. But I hit the bed and then landed on the floor. And I come out here to sit. And when I came out here to sit, I sat down, turned it on, and I wasn't out here 2 minutes, man. I started really hurt, so I just shut it off and went back in there and got in my recliner. So that's what happened. So. And I was videoing me putting the stuff up. Not at the time that I was doing it. What I was doing is I put a vid. I did partial video of the ceiling. Then I did another partial video of what I did to correct the problem, and then I was going to do another video of the ceiling fan put up. There's a um, or in order to put the ceiling fan up and film it, it would take way too long and it'd burn up way too much of my. I don't think I'd have enough memory card on my phone to do it, or on my uh, video camera to do it. No, you didn't want to see the video of that, or I didn't want to see the video of that. Well, that's nice. All right, lovely kid. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Have a good night, Tina. Well, my son is working. Both sons are working. So I'm going to finish it today. My wife's cousin's coming over to help me. Um, what it was is the remote control doesn't have enough wire on it to wire it and then get it put into place where it's got to go. So I'm going to add some wire to the remote control. So when I get the ceiling fan in there, the remote control can hang there until I can get it put in. So they just give you barely enough room to do everything. You know, and that's, I don't know. So, yeah, I took my tramadol, but it was just, every time I turned last night, it wouldn't let me go to sleep. So, but, you know, sooner or later I'll get so tired that I'll pass out again. So that's that's one good thing about it. Like you only go without so much sleep before you're so tired you'll fall asleep. So, you still there, Mucker? Yes, you are. Okay. That was the reason why. So I'm gonna try to do it again. I gotta go out to the garage and get me some wire and some connectors and get it all done, tape it all up, and put it in. So yeah, I got ibuprofen 800s, Aleve, and Tramadol, and so. But sometimes that stuff works, and sometimes that stuff doesn't work. So yeah, not anymore. I'm not. I used to be. You're right. Sooner or later, sleep will take over. So I don't know. It's just one of them things, man. Uh, I probably should have never even tried to attempt it last or yesterday, but we only got a we got a lamp in the bedroom and no light. You know, just the lamp, and it's dark in there. So with a ceiling fan, it's got the light in it, so it makes it so you can see in the bedroom. And need to get that done. Good morning, Big Steve. How are you doing today? Not so much, but I can read. Yes. If I do read, it's an informative, something that I'll learn something with. I don't read novels or anything like that. So, well, it's what 3:30 in the morning there, Big Steve, or 3:23. Yeah. So, like Mrs. Dog is going to be getting up here in a second. Grandkids got to get up and go to school. So, yeah, I've never been into that, mysteries or novels or fiction or nonfiction, any of that sci-fi stuff. Um, I got books on how to do stuff, and that's what if I want to read something, I'll read up on that. I do have an interesting book I got for Christmas. It's how to process wild game. Uh, so it shows you how to process all sorts of wild game. Uh, porcupine, possum, raccoon, squirrel, you name it, mink, whatever, ferret. My best friend Old Mucker is here. Yep. I'd rather watch videos too, but you learn a lot from videos. And that don't do anything to me. It just I take it. Supposed to take it 2 pills every night before I go to bed to help with the pain, but I only take maybe twice or 3 times a week instead of 7 days a week. Hmm. Well, reading is nice. Yeah, reading's nice. I mean, I have no, I have nothing against it. I just don't do it. I suppose if I didn't have the internet and TV and stuff like that, I probably would read. So, hmm. I tell you what really bothers me is the Flexerol. I don't know if you guys took Flexerol, but that's a muscle relaxant. And you take Flexerol, or that does to me. I take Flexerol, and hell, I sleep for 12 hours, but I don't have a prescription of that. Adventures of Fat Man and Blobbin. How are you doing? I haven't seen you guys in here in a while. If you guys aren't affiliated with the Adventures of Fat Man and Blobbin, go ahead and uh, get yourself acquainted with them. Yeah, Flexerol. It depends. It affects people some different other ways. Didn't affect my wife took it. She didn't affect her any, but it affects me. So I took it when I was working for the garbage company, and I got hurt at work, and so their company doctor prescribed me Flexerol. I took it, and next thing I know, I took it like at 1 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep. And next thing I know, it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon when I woke up. Nothing. Just sitting here looking pretty. Hell, everybody knows I can do that. Um, Let me. Oops. Do, do, do. Let me get into a different screen here. That's my other channel. Um, I just showed you some channel love there, Amber. Batman Blobbin just showed you some channel love. John. Just showed you some channel love. So, what else? Who else is here that I didn't get? I get you, Junkyard. I don't know if I got you yet yesterday or not. I don't know. Okay. I think that's everybody. There you go. Yeah, that's the grab a dog. That's for the hot dog cart. So. Get back to my original channel. And I'll put my merchandise page up if you guys are interested in that. There we go. I was a truck driver, but I also was we call them a shagger. I started out on the back of a truck, then I went to driving truck, then I went to driving a truck on a route, then I went to driving a front load, which dumped the ones over the top. Then I was a roll-off driver, the one with the big containers that you pick up off the ground. And then I was a swing driver. So. Good morning. Missed my cry last night. Oh, my cry for help. What do you have, a live stream last night, Carol? Good morning, Redneck Prepper. How are you doing? Yeah. Yeah, I can drive. We had a mutual disagreement between me and the garbage company. I hated their guts and they hated mine. So after they unlawfully terminated me and I went to work for a trucking company, and I was hauling the big roll-off boxes, about the ones that are size of a trailer. And then I went from there to hauling eight axle trailers, and then to hauling doubles. Well, that's good. You slept all night. And being a shagger is no easy job. I mean, those guys really work, and they get paid less. They work harder, and they get hurt more. So. The Barnyard Chicken. Good morning. It is a hard life, and even if you're a local driver, you still, it's a long day. You're hardly ever home. You get home in time to eat dinner, shower, and go to bed. A lot of times because you work 12, 14 hours a day. I worked 12 or 14 hours a day, and by the time I drove an hour home and an hour to work and an hour back, that's 16 hours a day. Who'd you work for? Who'd you work for there, Adventures of Fat Man? I'm a shit man. How are you doing today? Waste management? Okay. I work for Laidlaw, and then Allied Waste bought out Laidlaw, and then Allied Waste bought out BFI, and then Republic bought out Allied Waste. And I was asked to leave about a year before Republic bought out Allied. Kind of named my first son Boogie. That's good. Dewey. No. Yeah, like I used to tell everybody, Charles, if it come in a red, white, and blue truck, do not pull out in front of it because they don't have brakes. That was an option on those trucks. They didn't have brakes. Yeah, you're right. The trash men are lazy now. So. It's 20 some degrees here. It's going to be clear today, sunny, so with a high of 44. Was his last name Anup there, Junkyard? Toughen Up? Okay, Amber, have a good one. Tell my name one Twister. That's funny. Tough hard man. There you go. I know how that is. The Adventures. I was on the back of a garbage truck, and we went through this neighborhood, and when we were coming back out of it, some garbage cans blew out in the middle of the road, and the driver went to swing around to miss them, and the dual sucked the one up, one of them plastic big 30-gallon garbage cans, and or yeah, 30, 35, whatever the bigger ones. And when it did, it spit it out, and it kicked my feet off from the steps. Well, when your feet come out from underneath you, you grab for anything you can grab. And when I did, I grabbed the top of the hopper and the foot plate, and he drug me down the street about a quarter to a half a mile before he stopped, and it was pitch black. He stopped at a stop sign. I let go, and he took off around the corner. And I was so screwed up. Crisscross, there you go. But I ground the skin off my toes because it actually ground the steel plates right out of my shoes. I had my knees were all scraped up. I was took a lot of skin off my knees. I had a bump on my arm. It looked like my arm was shattered, but it wasn't. It was just hit so hard it was a calcium deposit. Marisa Marshall, how are you doing today? Yeah. We had a guy that was running a rear load container route, and he packed a homeless guy. Yeah, it does suck. People don't realize how bad it is, how dangerous it is. And then they make it even dangerous because when you're out there on the street picking up garbage, they don't even watch for you. We had a guy get cut right in half standing. He was throwing, it wasn't from our company, but it was from another one just down the street. And he was dumping trash, and another car hit the back of the truck, and cut him in half. And he was the only one. He was the driver and the shagger. So and he landed, or half of him landed in the hopper, which was on auto cycle. And then so it cycled him up, and the other half landed underneath the car and or underneath the hopper itself. And when the cops got there, they were looking for the guy. Yeah, today's garbage day here too. You did yard waste? So did I for a while. I had to do their yard waste in the big cities, and they didn't have a tip hopper, for uh, dumping the toters, or toter dumper, whatever you want to call them. They didn't have a toter dumper, so they had me go dump toters, and I ended up ripping my umbilical. I had an umbilical hernia from them. Huh? No. My lovely bride herself. Hmm. What? Oh, okay. I remember trying to hide bags. Hmm. Dem says, "Good morning, Mrs. Iron." She says, "Good morning, Dem." Good morning, Dem. Okay, man. Have a good one. I started driving garbage truck in 1985 for a small garbage company named Maple Leaf Rubbish. And then I went to work for, no, 84. Yeah, 84, 1984. And then I went to work I worked for them for a year, and then he sold out to Laidlaw, and they didn't take the employees. So I went to work for a factory and worked for them for a couple of years. And in 1987, I went to work for Laidlaw. Yep, there's coffee made. So yeah, he was just a little tyke. Oh. But if you're a garbage man, you make good money, but you got to work. You know, that's the thing. You got to work. A lot of these guys, they get paid by the day now. So, and that's what sucks. But then again, if you work hard, you know, and you've got an established route, you can get your day routes down to where, you know, you only work 7 hours a day and it's worth it. Then they want you to go do something else. Well, okay, but now you got to pay me. So they have to pay you overtime to go work someplace else. And that's where you can make your money. But when I was a swing driver, when I was a front load driver, let's put it this way. When I was a rear load driver, I used to get paid by the day. And then I went to roll off or front load driver, and I got paid by the yard. So every yard of garbage I picked up, if it was a 6-yard container, I got paid for 6 yards, regardless if there was 6 yards in it or not. If it was overloaded, I would charge the customer, you know, a yard or 2 yards or whatever, and then I would get paid that extra. I'd write a ticket and get paid the extra. So, and then when I went to roll off, I got paid by I got paid by zones. If you went so far, it was a zone 1. So far, it was a zone 2. You know, further and further and further. The further away you got from the landfill, the more money they paid. Well, I was in the town, and so I always paid a zone 1, which was like 13 or 14 bucks a load. But I could do 10, 12 loads a day, you know, and some of them I only had to drive a mile, you know, to go get it, and then a mile back. I had one place that had 5 roll-off boxes, and we go every day. And you go pick them up, and they wouldn't have hardly nothing in them. Pick them up, throw the tarp over it, you know, an automatic tarper, run in, dump it, come back. You could do 5 of them in about 3 hours, so or less. So yeah, you got paid by the yard, and then that's funny there, Kevin. And then I became a swing driver, and then they paid me by the hour. I had a base pay, and then if you went out and you did somebody's job, and say I went and did somebody's job, and my average for that job was $35 an hour. Okay, that's what I would have made if I'd have been getting paid by the hour. It was 35 bucks an hour because I did the job fast or whatever. They would have to pay me that for the entire 40 hours a week, the highest pay that I made. If I made 42 bucks an hour, they'd have to pay me 42 bucks an hour plus time and a half. So when you were a swing driver, you went out there and you busted. I mean, you kicked ass all day long to get a good hourly rate. And most of us swing drivers, we averaged $30, $32 an hour because we were the seasoned veterans, you know, that had been there for a while, so we knew all the tricks. You know, we knew how to get from A to B and how to do this and how to do that without, you know, a bunch of wasted steps. And you'd save a lot of money, or save a lot of time, make a lot of money. And you know, I made good money. So, but, you know, if you ever want to be, you know anybody wants to be a garbage man, don't, you know, think it's not a good job, because it is a good job. Especially if you got a decent weather year round, you know, like Tennessee or Alabama and North Carolina, South Carolina. Not so much South Carolina because it's too hot there, but, you know, North Carolina, those states right there, you know, where it's not that really freezing cold during the winter, and it's not really hot, you know, in the summer. That makes all the difference right there. So. Yeah, we never have running water underneath the table, so we wash dishes there. Yeah, you're funny there, Kevin. So, 10 people, 6:50 in the morning. So. Anybody want to talk about anything other than the Second Amendment or sex or sexy Second Amendment? You try $140 an hour. Yeah. But see, I was in there before they had all that stuff. I was the automatic pickup guy. So. That's all undependable. You have to take it to the dump yourself. Yeah. It isn't quite even starting to be light here. It's still dark, but if you get a hold of a good garbage man, if you guys treat the garbage man right, I'm not telling you how to do it, but you know, if you get a little extra out there that you want to take, you know, taken care of, or you want to, you know, to get rid of it, you run out there and you give them a few bucks, you know, say, hey, here's $5. Go, and you and your, you know, the driver, or whatever, if there's two of them or whatever, you know, go have a, you know, a pop on me. And then, you know, for Christmas, you give them a Christmas card with, you know, a gift certificate or something to, you know, Wendy's or something like that. I used to get pop, water, beer. I was out in Massachusetts, man. About every other house out there would have a garbage can out there, a steel garbage can, and it would be sweating. It'd be full of ice and beer. And it was nothing to get 60 or 70 cases of beer a day when I was out in Massachusetts. And that was in the early 80s. And that's no lie. And I couldn't drink that much beer. You know, I'd take a, you know, a 6-pack home to the hotel with me. But the shagger, he lived in the town that you picked up. So every shagger out there had a pickup, because that's what they, you know, every day they would get beer. And these shaggers would have garages full of beer, you know, full of beer. So, yeah. That's the thing, you know, if you treat your garbage man right, they will do stuff for you. They'll do stuff like you ain't never seen, man. So, all right, Hazelnut. Thank you for showing up. So, Sam, how are you doing? Nice to see you here. Are you okay? Uh, I seen that you were waiting for an ambulance. I asked if you were okay, but I wasn't on Facebook much longer after that, so I didn't get to see your response. But do you have an accident? Was Amy with you, or is she here yet? Oh, okay. Car crash into you and Amy. That's too bad. Well, that's the thing, Kevin. They all can't be picked up at 6 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. You know, somebody has to be first and somebody has to be last. Your car's a write off. That's too bad. Bye, Hazelnut. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Now you got insurance, don't you, Sam? Or is it going to be covered? Yeah, you totaled your car about what, a week and a half ago or something like that, Carol. Good morning, Lulu. Love you. How are you doing this fine morning? Glad to see you here. I'm sorry to hear that. You both have to go to the ambulance? Oh, not too bad, boo boo. Arthritis in my hip still hurting, but not too bad. I was an unplanned birth, Carolyn. I never recovered from that accident. You're funny there, Kevin. Well, that's good. At least you had some insurance. So, you know, a car is replaceable. A life isn't. So, hmm. Are you both home now, right? So, you didn't have to stay in the hospital, did you? Did you ever find out where your car was there, Carolyn? Okay. You know, would you stay in the hospital? So, yeah, you know, Oddly enough, hospitals probably most of them do know what they're doing. Okay, Sam. You're picking up the you got to pick up the police report. I We had a car. My son and his uh, wife, they were using my car, sitting at a stop sign, and a car coming around the corner. It was icy out and slid into him and hit him head on. It took me about 3 weeks to get a police report because every time I go to the police station, they didn't want to give me one. I said, "What do you mean you don't want to give me one?" "Well, you weren't involved in the accident." I said, "No, but my car was. That was my car." "Well, we're not going to give you one." "Well," I said, "you've got to give me one because I need one for my insurance." Well, then they told me, "Oh, we'll give you one." Well, then they crossed out, they blackened the guy's name, they blackened his address and his insurance and all his information. I said, "What good is this going to do me to give to the insurance company?" "Well, that's all you're getting." So I called my insurance company up. I said, "Hey, this police station down here won't give me, a police report because they keep telling me it's none of my business, even though it was my car. And then they give me a police report with everything blackened out about the other guy." And they said, "You're kidding." I said, "No, they don't want to tell me who this guy was." Well, come to find out, it was a friend of one of the guys that was a cop there, and he's trying to protect him. Well, my insurance company didn't sit still for that. They called him up and said, "You either send us a police report right now, or we're going to get a hold of the state police, have them come down there and ask you to give them a police report." They faxed him one over. And come to find out, this guy was a friend of one of the cops there, and they didn't want to get him in trouble. And the worst of it was, he had the same insurance as me, the same company. So you're right. You're right, Kevin. Technically, you won't stay there either when you're not breathing. Well, at least, are they paying for the rental car? Do you get a new one or another one? Yeah, it's typical of them, isn't it? And that's the thing with insurances. You can have a brand new car and pay full coverage insurance. Full coverage means to cover it fully. That's what the word full coverage means. But full coverage doesn't cover glass breakage. Now, what does full coverage mean if it doesn't cover the glass breakage? I don't quite understand that. We had several new cars, and each one you had to put glass breakage on it because if you didn't, it wasn't fully covered. But full coverage is full coverage. I don't, but I live in Michigan and we have that no fault insurance. So that means if somebody comes over and hits your car, they're not going to find them at fault. Your own insurance has to pay for it. So your own insurance pays for it. Your own insurance goes up because you have a claim. Their insurance doesn't go up because if they don't claim it on their insurance, then they don't have a claim. But if you have insurance on your car and somebody else hits you and you want it replaced, you have to have a claim, and your insurance goes up. So that's why you drive around our town, you see a bunch of cars all beat to hell because we have that no fault insurance, and nobody wants to have the insurance, claim it because they can't afford to pay the insurance then. Okay. All right, Charles, you have a good day. Yes, in Michigan, they have full coverage. Then you have collision and comprehensive. Then you have limited collision. Then you have PLPD. Then you have, um, I think that's it. No, and then there's total replacement. Well, wouldn't total replacement be full coverage? I just don't quite understand it. But that's like any other company. If they can screw you over, they're going to do it because they're allowed to do it, and the government doesn't care. And like I said, insurance companies are the biggest scams that ever were per- perpetrated on the human race. Health insurance, life insurance, car insurance, all that. They don't want to pay. You pay your premiums, but they don't want to pay. You pay your premiums and they don't want to pay. You have a claim, they don't want to pay. You pay your premiums and they don't want to pay for this, they don't want to pay for that. They want to dick you over on the price of this. They only want to pay so much of that. You know, it's just a screwed up world. And you're one of them guys, Kevin, an insurance agent. Or you was one of them guys. But you had to come to Michigan and test out their no fault insurance. I'm sure you'd like it. Oh, you probably won't. 2008, that car's 10 years old. You probably won't be able to afford nothing. The, the, basically, they'll probably just give you a check for $2,000 or whatever, if you got full coverage insurance on it. I have a 2011 Ford Edge, or my wife does, and we pay full coverage insurance on it. And if something happened to it right now, if it was being an accident or whatever, I'm sure they'd try to dick us out of $4,000 or $5,000 what it's worth. So, yep. A lot of people don't even like to drive in Michigan because of the no fault insurance. A lot of out of towners or out of staters don't like to come here because of that no fault insurance. You maintained it for 10 years. No? Your insurance agent wasn't Kevin Helming, was it? Their Lulu Love You. They should pay the current value, yeah, book value, but book value on a 2008 car, you know, depends on what it is. You know how many miles is on it? So, I don't know. I might be wrong. You might get more money than what I'm thinking, but I just looked at a 2004 Chevy Silverado extended cab pickup, four-wheel drive, and with over 200,000 miles, and they want a blue book of $5,000 on it. I think that's kind of ridiculous, but I'll be right back. I have to use the little boy's room and get a cup of coffee. Sorry about that. Uh, I had to run a bag of garbage outside to the curb before the garbage man got here. So we get a 6 bag limit, and I only had 2 out there. So I took the trash bag out of the house and took it out there. No sense of keeping it here. So, let's see what I missed. Arizona Ghost Rider, good morning. How are you doing? There you go. That's some good advice there. Just argue with them. That's right. Yeah, that was a dating standard. Yeah. Well, usually the 30 gallon trash cans or whatever they claim is they can put 3 bags in each one of them, so that'd be a 6 bag limit. Yeah, wheat bix for breakfast. What is wheat bix? Is that like a shredded wheat or something? 7 o'clock. They're allowed. It's 7:16 now, but they're allowed in the city at 7 o'clock. And usually he's here at 7:02, 7:05. Right around that area at that time. Last week it was like 7:35 when he got here. So Benny G just went live. I will never be intimidated. That's the name of his live stream. I like shredded wheat. Mama Dog, she likes shredded wheat. Uh, I guess we grew up on the old cereals. I didn't get Frosted or Fruit Loops or all that other kind of stuff. We got Corn Flakes, shredded wheat, Rice Krispies. Um, what else? That was about the extent when we grew up, or when I was growing up. My mom didn't buy them sugary cereals because if you wanted sugar on your cereal, you put it on there. So I probably didn't even have a bowl of Fruity Pebbles or Fruit Loops or any of that until I was probably 16 or 17 or something like that. I bet I didn't have a bowl of them until then. So you're on the senior plan, $50 every 3 months. That's actually not bad. That's $18 a month. Not too bad. 18.50 or something like that. Yeah. I like shredded wheat. I like frosted flakes. I like corn flakes and raisin bran and stuff like that. Yep. Okay, Dem. See you later. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping. Yeah, much love to you too. And a lot of them, I think, a lot of them sugary cereals and stuff has a lot to do with the things that are wrong with a lot of kids nowadays, too, because it's all made from a bunch of that GMO, Monsanto infused wheat and all this other stuff. And these kids are eating it up, by the bowlfuls all day long. And I think that's a lot of the reason why kids are having problems they're having. they're going to find out sooner or later, once they get the corruption out of the government, that, you know, that Monsanto, the chemicals that they've been putting on all the food, the, you know, the corn and the wheat and the barley and soybeans and all, that's what's causing all these health issues for all these people. I can almost bet it is. And if you guys see me on Facebook, whenever I post a Monsanto post on on Facebook, I always put Monsanto killing millions, one person at a time. So. Yeah, and yeah, they never go out either. They're always sitting in front of the TV playing video games or something. They never go outside. Yeah, I remember Soylent Green. And if you was lucky, you got a little bit of strawberry preserve with it. You remember that, Kevin? Soylent Green is an old movie with Charlton Heston. It was a good movie. There was a food crisis, and then all of a sudden there wasn't a food crisis because there was a new food. It was called Soylent Green. What it was is they was rounding up people and making them Soylent Green. And like I always say every morning, hey, if you guys have got it on Top Chat, take it off on Top Chat, put it on Live Chat, because you are missing comments. At our home in the city at $6.08 a month, we can put out all the trash we want, but it's a small town. Oh, you hit the wrong button. I think it's what is it, $10 a month here, Kath? For trash. I think it's 10. I don't know. What's that? Oh, she says it's more than $10 a month, but you only get 6 bags a week. And it can't be more than a 30-gallon bag. Can't weigh more than 35 pounds. You can't have, or you can have, everything out there has to be box, bagged, or bundled, and it can't, it can't weigh over 35 pounds, can't be over 4 foot long, and all this other stuff. Basically, all your regular rules for garbage, but you can't. You only get a 6-bag limit. So if you have, let's say you break down a bunch of cardboard boxes and you tie them up, that's considered 1 bag. So, excuse me, 4 bags a week. And, well, they have senior citizen, accounts or discounts and stuff like that. And, because senior citizens don't have much trash. So, they lower the price and they, like 2 bags a week or whatever. And, see, that's the way it was here. The bill was included in our water, with our water bill. And then they quit doing that. Now it's a separate bill. You still pay it to the city, but the city pays it to the garbage company, and you pay it to the city. They pay it to the garbage company, but it's not on your water bill no more. Yeah, and that's the way we used to do it. We charged $1 extra a bag when I was in the garbage business, and there'd be people out there that have 40, 50 bags, and they had a 6-bag limit. So you take the 6 bags, and then you had 36 bags or 34 bags or whatever extra every week, and you charge them extra. Well, then they would call up and complain, well, I never had that much trash. You know, all right, well, we'll forgive you. No, you did have that much trash. Quit lying. And then every week it'd be the same thing, 30, 40, 50 bags, So, good morning, Kim. How are you doing? So what we used to do is they would have to go to the city hall and buy tags, or they used to go to the city hall and buy tags or extra or stickers, and then you'd have to put a sticker on your bag. Well, some of these people would think, they'd put a sticker on the garbage can and leave it there, so that would be, they'd never have to buy another one. Wrong. So when you would go and dump their garbage can, you'd peel the sticker off. That would upset them. They come out, what are you doing? I said, taking your sticker off. Well, why are you doing that? That's because that sticker doesn't. You have to buy a new sticker every day, every time you put that garbage can out here. Well, I thought it was a one-time deal. No, it's not a one-time deal. So, they would get upset. If that was the case, then people would have you come out and empty the garbage bag, and they take the garbage bag back in. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Some people are just so cheap they stink. You're right, Junkyard. In fact, the garbage man's coming right now. I can hear him. Here he is. Okay, Marie. Thank you. See you later. Hurry back. Yeah. I know the feeling there, Junkyard. The school we had, we just pumped in $30 million like 12 years ago to do some renovations. Well, then 3 years ago, they wanted another $25 million. And we told them no. Well, then a bunch of communists 2 years ago had a drive, and they decided they wanted to $18 million to fix and do some more work to the school. Well, to do more work to the school, they put in a new two new concession stands at the football field, some new lighting. They put in some outdoor classrooms at the school. They put in some new technical classes, paved the parking lot. And I think they did a new heating system or cooling system in the school. But hell, we still got another 30 years on the 35 million, and now we got another 18 or 12 or whatever hell this last one was. We got another 20 years left on that one too. And they only have 1,000 students there. I can't justify the cost. There you go. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. I just can't justify the cost of 1,000 kids, in 40 or $53 million or whatever. Well, then you won't need any more. They say, well, you won't need any more renovations for a long time. Well, you're going to need more renovations because in 10 years they're going to say that school's outdated. We're going to need a new one. I don't understand it. They want more money, but they didn't ask for more money for the teachers. I'd have much rather give the teachers a bigger raise than pay for new lighting at the football field, because I don't believe People may think I'm wrong, but I don't believe that the school should have to pay for, the football field or whatever, because they charge $5 a person to get in admission. And some of these times they have 2 or 3,000 people there. So that's $10, $15, $20,000 every time they have a game, not to mention the concessions. They get $1 for a hot dog, $1 for a coffee, $1 for a pop, $1 for water. They make money on every bit of that because the hot dogs and the buns, I think, are all donated. So they, and I think 90% of that stuff is probably donated, so they don't have to pay for none of it. So that should pay for the lights and the upkeep and everything on that, but it doesn't, or they don't use it for that. And then they want, and they don't even use that money to keep up the athletic department. They keep asking, they have fundraisers for that, and they want new uniforms for this, new equipment for that, all this other stuff. Well, I'd like to know where that money all goes. Dog for president, that's right. See you later, Kevin. Have a good one. Well, they may be nice to you there, Barnyard, but you better wait until you get your bill, because they might have an extra charge on there for you. Government waste is in every level, especially in the school system. No. Huh?
Is the stove the right time?
Yeah, it's close to it, yeah. It's 7:31.
Looks like the microwave is.
Huh?
When the microwave is.
What's it say?
7:32 now.
Oh, well, okay.
Alex said it just was at 7:31.
Okay. Yeah, it's around 7:30. My grandson. Oh, that's good. I'm glad they're not charging anything. Right. I don't blame you. Sometimes they do that just because the situation. They'll eat the extra cost because it's worth keeping the customer in the long run. So. I thought it said 25 today there, old mucker. Yeah. Well, it just changed. It was 25, now it's 24. Maybe it's getting colder. But it's supposed to get warm. Yeah, it changed because it was supposed to be 45 degrees today, or 44 degrees, and it went down to 41. So. It's supposed to be sunny today, tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. And then Saturday, cloudy. Is it cold there? Yeah. Well, I've got the what is it? The weather app or whatever. Yeah, right there, the Weather Channel. I can't see it. There. That's what I have for mine, but Supposed to be 65% humidity, northeast by 13-mile-an-hour winds. So. I'm not sure why either. Well, my wife's, she has a different weather on her phone, and it says different than mine all the time, too. You know, it'll say on hers it's going to rain or whatever, and on mine it says no, you know, 0% chance of rain. Sometimes hers is right, and sometimes mine's right. So I don't know. Between the two of them, one of them gets it right. But if I ever decided I wanted to get into another job, I want to be a meteorologist. Because where else can you be wrong 99.9% of the time and still make 80 grand and nobody gets mad for you being mad or being wrong? Or your boss doesn't get mad for you being wrong. You have a widget on it? Oh. Yeah. Because they're never right. They're never right. They get paid big bucks, and nobody ever gets upset because they're not right, or the management doesn't get upset because they're not right. So. Let me see if I can redo this. Okay. See if it reads. Yeah, it just keeps coming up 24. Cornwell. 43 degrees and raining. That's what it says on mine. Me too. Me too. They're redneck. They are. Weather people are useless. You're right. Hi, June. How are you? I always wanted to be one there too, redneck. But, you know, it'd be great for a couple of weeks, but then after that, it'd be same old, same old. Now, I think the thing to be, if you were going to be a photographer, would be a wildlife photographer. I think that would be the cat's ass. Because whatever, it doesn't matter. You can photograph an eagle every day, and it's still going to be different every time you photograph an eagle. So, or a grizzly bear, or anything like that. Well, you're right there, old mucker, but I don't think some of them guys that do that, I don't think they have that problem because that's not their, how can I put it? That's not their forte. They have a different sexual preference other than that. Well, that's good. You had fun with Linda on Sunday. That's good. So, glad you're feeling a little bit better. So what do you guys want to talk about? Give me a subject other than sex or the Second Amendment or the sexy Second Amendment. We talked about spring. You seen one, you seen them all. Yeah. Talked about spring. We talked about the garbage man, the weather. You can't beat a bit of fun at June. Yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be 40 degrees today. My grandson asked if it was going to be warm today. No, what's yours say? Look, it was just talking about how yours says different than what mine says. What's your say for temperature? Okay, my wife's phone says hers will be 38 for a high today. And mine says mine will be 40 for a high today. And they both of them have our city in it. So that's how different different weather apps are. Okay, June. Yeah, yours is miles out then, yeah. Put in Adrian, Adrian, there, old mucker. Adrian, Michigan, and see what it comes up with. No. I'm like 90, well, I'm about 84 miles, I guess, from Detroit. Those you can't see. Yeah, you always got to be careful ones you can't see. Yeah, that now says it's, yeah. So True Life Adventures with a Jane blog. Coffee and a honey bun and my chat. Well, isn't that nice? Did you get enough honey buns for the rest of us? And mine says it was a high of 40. So, yeah. And hers was different than mine. Yours is different than mine. And Pappy Pine, how are you doing this morning? Good to see you here. Oh, yeah, 3 for $1 at the dollar store. Yeah. That didn't sound like a bad deal. 3 honey buns for $1. I love going to the Dollar Tree, but I found out this morning you got to be careful what you buy, or make sure you're looking at what you buy. My wife bought some jalapeno or hot pepper cheese the other day, and I went to slice me off a slice this morning, and I went to cut the package open, and what is that? And it was molded. Come to find out, there's a little hole poked right through the side of the package. I don't know if somebody did it or if it happened or whatever, but she just bought it, 3 days ago, and I put it in the refrigerator in the cheese drawer, and I didn't see it then, but it very well could have been then. It could have been there. I went to slice it and I seen it, so from now on, when I go to the Dollar Tree, I'm going to make damn sure that it doesn't have any, that it's not doesn't look that way. So yeah, you got to be careful wherever you get anything from. Yeah, you're right. But I tell you what, you go to the dollar store, Dollar Tree, and you go in the frozen food section, and they have pork pot stickers. And you don't have to fry them. All you do is you take them from the frozen, you throw them in a paper plate, you put them in the microwave for like 1 minute and 30 seconds. They have a little sauce. And what I do with that sauce is I just run some hot water, put it a coffee cup, or fill a coffee cup with hot water, and throw the sauce in the hot water, and then, or a little small bowl or whatever. And then once it's warmed, you just cut it open and pour it in the bowl. And dip your pot stickers in it. But for $1, you get 6 of them, and they're excellent. She'll go there and we'll buy 4 or 6 packages of them, and then that'll be it's just me and her, so we'll open up 3 or 4 packages or whatever, and that'll be part of our dinner. And the spring rolls, they got good spring rolls there too. And they have chicken pot stickers. I ain't never tried them. I think we should get some and try those too. But the pork are excellent, man. They really are. And some people say, yeah, you boil them and then you fry them. Well, it says right here, all you gotta do is microwave them, and that's good enough for me. So I don't care if they're crispy or whatever. I like them the way they are. So. Yep, you can buy the burritos and the pizza snacks and all that stuff, which makes it nice, for $1. You can put stuff in your freezer or something for a snack or whatever you want, My wife loves them Carnival peanuts, and that's about the only place you can find them, so we buy them there. Some of them don't have a refrigerated section. And I asked a manager about that one time. They said, well, they're all getting them. They just, when the store, when it warrants enough business to have it, then they put in the refrigerated section. Yeah, the spring rolls is they got cabbage, or they're egg rolls. They got cabbage and carrots and whatever, and some meat or whatever kind of shredded beef or whatever. And these are garden spring rolls, so they're all vegetable, and they're really good. And you don't have to fry them; you put them in the microwave. I put them in the microwave on a paper towel, and any excess, oil that was in them gets soaked into the paper towel. So, Yeah, I seen those. They had some of those there too. I was going to buy some, but never have luck with them. I put them out here, and then the neighborhood kids, they knock them over, they steal them, they bust them. So, I actually want to get a couple of them ring floodlights and put them out here on the house. That way when somebody walks into the yard or whatever, it'll activate. Because we had somebody come right to some kid come right to our door one day when I couldn't, I couldn't get up to the door or whatever, or look out, but um, for some reason, I don't know why, but she come over here and wrote bitches on my vinyl siding. So we called the police because vandalism. And well, you didn't catch them, did you? No, we didn't catch them, but I have a pretty good idea who it was because when we come out and was looking at those people, their kids are 2 houses down on another street, but you can see them from our door. They were laughing when I was looking at it, and they were pointing this way. So the cops went over there and they said, well, then they come back and they said, well, they didn't do it. I said, did you ask them what they did? And they said, no, we just asked them what was going on. I said, well, of course they're going to tell you they didn't do it, So unless you have a video of them doing it, there's nothing we can do. I said, then why do we have police here? Why don't you be some investigators and investigate it? He said, well, it's just, a permanent marker. You can get it off. Well, no, you can't get it off. It does not come off in vinyl siding. I ended up having to get spray paint and painting the vinyl siding because it wouldn't come off. It wouldn't come off with alcohol, gas, nail polish remover, none of that stuff. And you got to be careful what you put on vinyl siding because it can actually melt it. So. Yeah. Well, that's the thing of it is, I could have said, yeah, I seen them do it, but they're going to have 20, kids. They had 20 kids sitting over there. They're all going to say, no, we weren't over there. That's what they need. They need their ass kicked. Well, fortunately, them kids have moved away, and hopefully they're terrorizing somebody else's neighborhood instead of mine anymore. Right. Well, if you have a neighbor that's causing you some trouble all the time, we never had any problems with any of our neighbors. When I first moved into here, or was it when you moved in here, I was working here, and I had the windows open, and I could hear this woman screaming, "What are you doing? What are you doing to me? Why?" And she was screaming her lungs out. I called the cops. It took them 45 minutes to get over here. I said, "There's a woman screaming. I think somebody's beating her to death." No, she had her windows open in her house and she's screaming on the phone because somebody called her and she's just literally screaming her ass off. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing, just screaming. They ended up getting, they had an ambulance come over and they put her in a little white coat with like 9-foot long sleeves and wrapped them around her and threw her on a stretcher and took her away for a while. Yeah. Well, we used to have my son when he lived here. Used to have bulldogs or bullies, whatever you want to call them, and somebody let them out because they had uh, when you shut the gate, they had the slide down lock, and then we put a bolt, through the lock, a U-bolt, and a nut. Well, we went out there and the dogs were out running around, went out there and the U-bolt was laying on the ground with the nut off it. So, I know somebody had opened it up and opened up the dogs and let them out. So, and that was a deal. Had chased dogs around the neighborhood. So, Sophia, how are you doing this morning? Well, around here, if you do that, you go to jail. This is Anyway County, and they call it Anyway County for a reason. Any way they can screw you over, they're going to do it. Huh. Not too bad. Shizumoto, good morning. How are you doing? So what kind of hot dog cart are you getting, Shizu? Are you getting a new one, or are you getting a used one, or what? It's nice to sort out things, but you can't sort them out with violence or physical violence, because if you do that, then you just ask them for trouble. Especially here where we live, because um, we have an open carry law and we have a concealed weapons carry law. So you got a nice cart from American Hot Dog. Yeah, they make a nice cart. So, you got to call the cops. What you can do? You bipolar. Yeah, yeah. That would probably be the thing to do. Well, the neighbor across the street from us, never seen anything like it. Um, she lost two of her kids, the two oldest, and the people that adopted the two kids, is her landlord. But now she has two other kids. She has two other kids. One's 12, and I think the other one's 10 or something like that. But the two oldest ones are 14 and 16 or something like that. So, but she lost them, and the house is, the yard is like a junkyard out there, and it's just unbelievable. A food truck would be nice, but they are expensive and they are a job. Oh, Mucker, you got 232 channel followers now. That's good. And uh, you can do a lot of, like I said yesterday, you can do a lot of stuff on a hot dog cart. You can make tacos. You can do anything as as long as because ours, you can't cook on it. You can't cook on a hot dog stand or cart. You can only warm up stuff. So hot dogs and all that stuff, that's already pre-cooked. So all you have to do is warm it up. But like you can't fry hamburgers or anything like that on ours, or because our license won't allow that, because you got to have a commissary kitchen. Yeah, you have to sort it out. So, but you can make tacos on your cart by just steaming the taco shells, because you can steam those. They're already cooked. You can buy hamburger meat already cooked, or taco filling, what they say, already cooked. And then you can buy lettuce, tomato, and onion and cheese already cut up or shredded, so you don't have to do any of that work. And then you got your other stuff, your hot sauce and your jalapenos. If you offer, like a refried bean or something like that, all you gotta do, it's already cooked. All you gotta do is warm it up. So you can offer all that on a taco cart or on a hot dog cart. So same way with, you just got to go to according to Michigan, you got to go in and tell them, hey, we're going to serve this and this and this, But same way with biscuits and gravy. You can buy biscuits already made and frozen. All you got to do is put them in your steamer and warm them up. And the sausage gravy is already made. It's in cans, and you just warm that up, and you can serve sausage gravy and biscuits. So there's a lot of things you can serve, but you just can't cook. People think, well, how can you cook and not serve? How can you, But that's the thing. Cooking is one thing. Warming up is another. So. And I don't know. I'd like to try some other stuff other than hot dogs once in a while, see how it works out. So. Or, at the same time, because I can do 5 steam pans on my, actually 6 if I want to. But I do 1 big one, then 4 little ones, but there are 4 quarters, or no, 4 quarters. I can do a half and then 4 quarters. So, but if I do, I can do 6 quarter pans, and then I'm fine. But I could do tacos and hot dogs at the same time. Well, that's kind of neat. They're True Life. You're right. There's nothing better than actually a good hot dog. If you buy a good quality hot dog, it's delicious, man. So. So, Nathan's are good. They are, but they're not, they're not, they're not well, they are a good hot dog. A lot of people serve them, but I'd rather serve a Gordon Food Service hot dog. So, it is, I don't know, it's a little after 8 o'clock in the morning. I think I'm going to get off here and get some stuff done. It was nice to have you guys all show up. I appreciate it. I really do. But I've got stuff to do. I said that's a first. I got stuff I got to do. I got my wife's cousin's going to be here in a little bit, so we're going to try to. What the hell was?
Quit putting my name in it. We'll talk about it. I'll get on there and blast you.
Okay, June, are you going to be on? I'll stop over.
Oh, I'm sure you'll stop.
Oh. All right, well, I'm going to get off here. You all have a good day. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I really do. If it wasn't for you, I'd have no business being on here, actually. And, if you're going away today, make sure you watch out for the other guy, because they're probably not watching out for you. And God bless to each and every one of you. You all have a good day. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, blast you. All right, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you.
You don't think it was? All I have to do is click the button in there and you